Hey Love Tankers, it's your girl Jasmine Cruz back with another episode of Tank Fillers, and I am so excited to bring you this topic, and I think it's perfect for this week. I have just want to apologize that I did not upload this podcast on Tuesday. Normally we would have a podcast uploaded on Tuesday, but I'm giving it to you on Friday, and I hope that this helps you through the weekend and gives you guys something to talk about. But today's topic is continue making excuses or hold accountable. And I know a lot of people have seen my tweet about Kanye West, and I want to address that openly here because I have I guess caused some conversation, which is the point of Love Tank, starting conversations even if they're uncomfortable and people don't want to have them. But let's talk about it. First, let me kind of go back to myself. December 22nd, attempted to commit suicide, and I am only openly discussing that because I feel like it's necessary for people to know me in all aspects of my life. Although I share a lot of my life and I am very open with what I share, I want to talk about mental health and how mental health affects all aspects of your life, because I think it's very crazy to say that somebody that's dealt with mental issues and definitely goes to therapy is someone to be deemed insensitive because she doesn't agree with another person's actions. So let's kind of go into that. So my theory about relationships is that how the world and what goes on in the world and how it directly affects relationships on a daily basis. So the controversy with Kanye West and what he has stated has directly affected personal relationships within a lot of people's lives. Not just African Americans going against other African Americans, but that's pretty much what they want, us to be very controversial and to not be able to control our temper and ourselves, and it causes a cluster of unnecessary emotions and issues going out into the world. So I want to address that, back in December 22nd, 2019, yes, the thought very much came across my mind to the point where my sister had to call the police to come do a wellness check on me while I was in New York. People in New York assumed that they knew me and assumed that I was very well and well endowed. That was not the case. I was very much in a very different state of mind, but very much held accountable for my actions and for words that I stated while I was there and messages that I sent. And the reason why I bring this up, because the people that are closest to us are the ones we hold accountable. Relationships that we deal with on a daily basis, we naturally always hold them accountable for their words, for their actions. But when a celebrity has an issue, I'm not just talking about Kanye West, but when a celebrity has an issue, we are so quick to have understanding and grace for them, but yet we don't have that for people in our daily lives. Self-check. Dealing with racism today and dealing with all the issues of the world, we are so quick to be judgmental towards the things that we don't agree with and hold other people accountable, but yet we pick and choose who we want to hold accountable is really the point I'm trying to make, and those that we want to extend grace to. And that is something that I want to discuss today. When do we hold people accountable? And when do we extend grace? Because I am here to say that Although I suffered a mental snap December of 2019, I am held accountable every day for everything that I've said during my time in New York, the actions that I took, and the people that I've hurt. I don't need grace to be extended to me. That's not the point. The point is people choose to extend grace to who they choose to, and others are held accountable. So my question is, why is someone like Kanye West put up on such a high pedestal that he's not held accountable for the words that come out of his mouth? And I'm not saying this or asking this question in an insensitive way. I am really stating, yes, we all understand mental illness. We all know that it very much well exists. But to say that everything that comes out, every action is deemed excusable, why don't we do that to our own people? Why is it that it's only people in higher power that get excuses for their behavior? When we're dealing with people in relationships, we are so quick to pass their behavior off as unexcusable. They don't get grace. They don't get mercy. They don't get understanding. They don't get any of that. And I know it's completely different dynamics when it comes to mental illness or just a regular relationship. But it's still something to be said. When do we start holding people accountable? If you're dealing with somebody that constantly is showing you who they are, but yet you continuously excuse their behavior, not holding them accountable for the things that they do to you, because clearly, like we stated last week, these may be things that you are allowing to be done, but still excusing it as excusable behavior. These people constantly get excuses, but in reality, should we hold them accountable? Or when will people learn what they say out of their mouth holds weight? When will people learn that the things that they say, they should be held accountable for? I am so grateful that AO stood up and said, I don't need an apology, but I do need you to be held accountable for your words and your actions and intentions with those words. Women are held accountable every day for what they wear, how they walk, what they do, all of the above. But yet, people in higher authority are not held accountable for what they do to women and children. Yes, I said it. All over this world. Things that happen in this world directly affect our relationships. Period. They had started when the election shifted from Obama to Trump. A lot of relationships are yet in void because of it. Racism is something that we are dealing with on a daily basis. And relationships, the understanding, the lack of understanding, the ignorance of it, the no care, all of these things happen, and there's so much being constantly thrown at us and constantly said, and there's people that are constantly doing things, and there's constantness all over this world. Police not being held accountable for their actions. Breonna Taylor. But there's a lot of that happens all over this world. People are afraid to talk about it. People are afraid to have those conversations within their family or within their communities. I get it. I'm scared to have some of the conversations. I'm even afraid of stating it verbally here at times. But if I don't say it, who will? We have to take people off pedestals, and we have to hold them accountable for what they say. Because I'm pretty sure you hold your sister, your brother, your mother, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, you hold them accountable on a daily basis. And within our own families, we don't extend grace. And that's scary. We're so quick to excuse behavior of certain people, but we don't excuse the behavior of people that we know. I personally didn't necessarily need my behavior or my action to be excused. I owned everything that I said and did while I was in New York. Am I proud of anything that I've said and done? No. But if I wouldn't be a person of integrity if I don't outwardly speak about my own experience. I am not somebody, I'm not saying that, that it doesn't hurt. It does. Oh well, you move on. You take the good and you take the bad and you move forward. I'm actually grateful that people held me accountable, because I wouldn't be able to sit here today during my healing process. I wouldn't be able to speak to you openly about anything, really, if I wasn't held accountable for my actions. And because of being held accountable, I was able to reevaluate everything and be more grateful for what I have. Because what I have could have been taken away from me in an instant. And I really wouldn't be here talking to you today. So just because somebody needs to be held accountable doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes people need self-reflection and to check some of the things that they say and see it from a different way, because please believe accountability is important. And that's why a lot of people have accountability partners. They kind of discuss things with them to make sure that they're actually doing and saying things correctly in the form of business or in the form of self-discovery or self-growth. So if we take what Kanye has said, and a lot of people are hurt by it, a lot of people are affected by it, a lot of relationships are affected by it because some people don't agree, as me with others. But if we take that one example of what he said and just say, hey, it's okay to hold him accountable for what he said with grace. Because at the end of the day, whether we hold somebody of that stature accountable or not, he doesn't know us, nor does he care. But when it comes to our personal relationships, the people that we actually hold accountable on a daily basis are the relationships that we should focus on. Because at the end of the day, you can argue with somebody on social media about what Kanye has said and how it's affected you. The reality is, the relationships that you are truly impacted by should be the ones of importance, and those are the ones that you deal with on a daily basis. It's important to hold people accountable and stop making excuses for people. Excuses are like poison. If you continue to excuse the behavior of an addiction and you enable it, what does it do for that person? Nothing. They'll never learn. They'll never understand. They'll never know. But us, regular schmegular people that have real issues that we deal with on a daily basis, let's start holding each other accountable. No matter what race, no matter what gender, no matter what class, no matter what educational background. Stop making excuses and start holding people accountable. Because you have no idea the growth that somebody can gain just by you holding them accountable one time. So, yes, it's not a Tuesday, it's a Friday, and the weekend is here. And I challenge you this weekend to start extending that same grace that you extend to all of these upper hands to your sister, to your brother, to your mom, to your dad, not just to Kanye West. And if so be it, they need to be held accountable, hold them accountable with grace. I will see you guys next week. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope that this podcast is a conversation starter, if anything else. It's your girl, Jasmine Cruz. I appreciate you guys every week. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, accountability matters.